there on your forehead, I think it would just end up causing like a lot of prejudice. Yeah.
I don't think it's the solution. I don't think it would solve all the world's problems. I personally think I think communication is the solution. But if someone asked me, I disagree with what she said over there. If someone asked me what my body count is, I would tell them. I mean, if they react poorly to it, then I'm not going to hook up with them. You know, I feel like that's a huge red flag, but I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I mean, I've done what I've done, and there's no point in like trying to hide that or pretend that it is something bad.
I think it'd be beneficial. I think that if people were to say, if I was just looking for somebody to hook up with, and they're like, oh, like you and me, we're the same, or if people were looking for somebody that's a little bit more stable and something more serious, they could like immediately tell that, and it would save a lot of time.
But like, I have a question. Can I follow up on that?
Of course.
So you went and said if you're looking to hook up. So like, I think maybe like, the body count versus someone who's looking to hook up is different. Because for example, you were saying, Chase, that you were a different person freshman year. Mm-hmm. So maybe your body count's like really high, but now you're a different person. So if you just went and had like that number on your forehead, they're going to perceive you or judge you based off of your past actions and not based off your actions today. So maybe that's like, obviously it would be really simple. It's kind of like if every girl and guy like got introduced and a guy knew, oh, she's into me because she said, oh, I'm into you. Why don't we like start that instead of maybe playing them? Obviously that would be really helpful for everyone. So is that kind of what you mean? Maybe the body count, or kind of like going and talking to him and saying, hey, are you just in it to hook up? Or do you actually maybe want to start something a little bit more serious? I
mean, part of it is like atonement. Mm-hmm. For like what you've done, but then also it could just be someone they see it, and then for somebody that's just like hard no, mm-hmm. and that's just that. For somebody, they might be like, hey, you might have had some kind of phase, might have done something, but I can get over that. I can talk to you. I can like you as a person. Get over that. But I mean, for some people, they're going to be able to do that. For some people, they're not going to be able to. Mm-hmm. And for them, like then that's cut and dry right there. Like if somebody wants to make that assumption and be like, absolutely not, like right there, no. And then that's on them. If somebody wants to be like, hey, this could still be a good person, whatnot, then that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So before I answer that question, Brian, can I ask you to flesh out why Andrew Tate thinks that putting body counts on people's foreheads would solve all the world's problems?
You know what? I don't recall precisely his reasoning. I just remember the quip that he made. So. I know, and I don't want to misspeak for him, so...
Well, I vaguely recall hearing a clip where he was talking about this, and basically it came down to the more people that you have sex with in your lifetime, like we talked about in the last episode that we did, there's...
By the way, can I just ask you, do you think we should, because we've talked about body count so much, do you think we should try to cover tonight? Do you think we should try to cover some other topics, or...
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Not stay on it too long.
I think we fixated on it for a while last time, and I think there's a lot of other topics that we can cover.
So we'll touch on it a bit, but then we'll try to move on.
Yeah. So from what I understand, Andrew Tate's perspective for like why he said that. I personally, when I'm thinking about like the kind of woman that I want to marry, like how many men she's slept with matters to me, because they've done studies, and the more people that a person has sex with in their lifetime, it significantly increases their chances of getting divorced.
Oxytocin.
What'd you say?
Oxytocin, like I was saying before, the amount of oxytocin they release.
Yeah, I think it desensitizes you to, like if you've slept with like 100 people, when you're releasing that bonding hormone, if you've released it with 100 people, I think it's going to like significantly desensitize your ability to connect with like another person in that deep, intimate way. And I think that's important. Like, I personally believe that God created our bodies to release that hormone so that we can deeply connect with another person and like really have like a close connection with them. And I think when people sleep with a lot of people long term, you kind of lose some of that. And divorce rates have increased in the past few decades. Here in California, it's like 50%. I really care about like people having healthy marriages. Like I really want to have one. My parents did not have one. It sucked. And I think that like a lot of the world's problems come from the fact that, people they have broken families. And when it comes to putting body counts on people's foreheads, like, let me ask you guys this, like as women, would you feel judged if your body counts were on your foreheads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it might entice you to sleep with less men if that was the situation?
Yes. I don't think that's a fair question at all.
Why?
Oh.
Why not?
I said yes.
Well, I just think that like, when you're talking about body count, especially because most of us said that that is not the way. The two men at the table seemed to agree with that statement. I think that body counts disproportionately have a negative effect on women than they do men.
For sure,
They also
for
have
sure,
a negative
definitely.
effect on men in the sense that
Yeah.
men feel pressured to have higher body counts, women feel pressured to have lower body counts. And I just think that that's like, I don't know. It's just, it's not.
You're right. It is an unfair question because there's a double standard there. It's absolutely unfair. But the question was, if we did live in a world where your body count was broadcasted, do you think it would motivate you to sleep with less men?
I think it depends on the person. I mean,
Yeah.
to go back to what she said, there is a double standard. And so if you were to say guys versus girls, guys have a body count on their head and girls have a body count on their head.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that it would make the men just be like, oh yeah, great. Like, let's just keep going. And then it would make the girls, because of the double standard, be like, oh, well, absolutely not. I don't want people to think that I sleep around. Like, there's such a negative stereotype behind that. So I think it would have a different effect for boys and for girls. So yeah.
I mean, they'd kind of eat their own. Like, again, if a guy was like, oh, I'm just going to like rack up this body count. And then, again, with changing culture and influence and whatnot, you could be like, yo, that's disgusting. Like, not going to sleep with you. And then, hey, any woman that, again, like wants to do that, like, hey, go for it. But then it would just separate people based on what they like and what they value, you know?
I think that. Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's actually like, I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I realize like how negative it is, because like I think the reason, and we talked about this in the car too, the reason why like men care, I think at least, like about low body counts is because I think they like, I'm not saying this is all men, but I'm saying that a lot of men like to have that like sense of ownership, like, oh, like this is like untouched, like no one else like saw this besides me, you know?
That's big.
And I think
that's
that's
big
like,
for men.
I think that's like such a, I think it would like, if that were, if like my body count was broadcasted on my forehead or like any girls was, then I think that would like just create more of like this society where like men feel ownership over women.
That's an interesting take. I wasn't expecting that last part.
You know what? Let's we can maybe come back a little bit to body count stuff, but let's read a couple chats here. So we got some super chats.
Let's go.
Let's see here. Okay, we got Mike Davis, the $5 soup chat. Guys, just heads up, Mike Davis is the homie, but we're doing. Oh, wow. I told you to wear a tank top, Chase. I mean, you should have worn a tank, but. Super chats are 10 and up to be read and responded to, but we will display all super chats in stream overlay. Chase holding the mic tight, those forearms looking buff. We already know they get a daily workout.
That's true.
A daily
I do get my
workout.
daily workout, Mike. I take some days off though.
Okay.
Appreciate the compliment, bro.
Edward Scornfield with the $10 super chat. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.